Tua Tagovailoa is back. And if you don't understand what that means, if you don't feel the weight of those words, you haven't been paying attention. 43 days. That's how long this team, this offense, this franchise has been without its leader, its heartbeat, the man who sets the tempo, the man who is the Miami Dolphins. And now, finally, he's back in that huddle, calling those plays, making his team believe again. Let's not sugarcoat it, his absence was felt. Not just in stats, not just in win-loss columns, but in the very essence of this squad. The Dolphins weren't just missing their quarterback. They were missing their guy. And when Tua stepped back onto that practice field, it wasn't just another day. It was a moment. Tyreek Hill, a man who's played with MVP quarterbacks, a man who knows what it's like to be in a locker room with game changers, didn't hold back. That was so beautiful it almost made me cry today. Let that sink in. Not just good, not just solid, it moved him. Because the difference between a team functioning and a team believing is the presence of a leader. And Tua? He's not just a leader. He's their leader. Raheem Mostert, another veteran, another guy who knows what it takes to win in this league, echoed it. That's our guy. And there was a sharpness, a focus in his voice. Because when you get your guy back, the excuses go out the window. The details matter again. The standard gets raised. And let's be clear, this isn't just about sentiment. This is about results. Because without Tua, this offense has been a shell of itself. They've been struggling. They've been missing that edge, that identity. They've been putting up fewer points than any team in the league. Think about that for a second. A unit with Hill, Waddle, Mostert, and McDaniel's brilliant mind, dead last in points scored. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens when the piece that makes it all work is missing. But here's the thing, Tua's return doesn't magically erase the problems. Mike McDaniel made that clear, and he's right. This team still has issues. The offensive line still needs to clean up the mental lapses. The running back rotation still needs clarity. The balance between air and ground attack still isn't where it needs to be. But you can feel the shift. You can sense the tide turning. Robert Jones put it bluntly, that's the one thing about Tua, he comes with the energy and pushes everybody to be their best. And Jonnu Smith doubled down on it, the energy that he's going to give off and radiate is going to be contagious. That's not coach speak. That's not cliché. That's real. That's what separates players from playmakers. And it's not just about his presence on the field. It's what he's been doing while he's been off it. McDaniel pointed out that even when he couldn't play, even when he wasn't in the huddle, Tua was locked in. Watching, analyzing, correcting. Making sure this team didn't just wait for his return but prepared for it. That's what leaders do. That's what franchise quarterbacks do. And let's talk about leadership. Because what Raheem Mostert said? It cuts through all the noise. He takes ownership in his leadership and his craft, and he takes pride in that. To get him back, to get the guy that we trust, who is a key part of this offense, is very critical for the organization. This isn't just about winning games. This is about identity. This is about who the Miami Dolphins are when number one is under center. Of course, with his return comes the inevitable conversation. The thing that every single Dolphins fan has been screaming about for years. The thing that has haunted this team, this franchise, this player. Protection. We know what Tua can do when he's on the field. But he has to stay on the field. And you better believe his teammates know it too. Hill didn't hold back, I tell his ass all the time. When we're playing against the Colts, you see the fans started clapping for Anthony Richardson when he slid? Our fans need to clap for Tua and make him slide. And Mostert? He's been in his ears since the injury. Hey, you got to work on sliding. They're laughing, they're joking, but they're dead serious. Because this team is different when Tua plays. This team can compete when Tua plays. But he has to be smart. He has to protect himself. And here's the kicker, Tyreek Hill said it out loud. The thing that some people have been hesitant to admit. The thing that the doubters refuse to acknowledge. The reality of this team. Just having Tua will get us back. That's not hype. That's not wishful thinking. That's belief. Because the Dolphins have been missing more than just a quarterback. They've been missing their leader, their engine, their identity. And now, they've got him back. And if you don't see what that means, if you don't feel what that means, maybe you're watching the wrong team.